Okay, hi, welcome. My name is Beth Wallace, and I'm the founder and director of a project called Bliss Ireland. And we are an organisation that organises events that promote sexual freedom, health and pleasure in mind, body and spirit. And we have a summer festival each year. And this year it's in County Down, August 21st to 24th. And I'm joined right now by one of the speakers of this year's festival, Laura Lee. Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am originally from Dublin. I'm a sex worker and I have been involved in the sex trade on and off now for about 22 years, so quite a long time. I worked in Ireland for most of that time and moved to the UK in 2003. After a particularly awful experience of being outed in a small Highland town, I became interested in fighting for sex workers' rights. And so I'm now a member and campaigner with Sex Workers Alliance Ireland, and we're fighting for decriminalisation of all of the old archaic laws around sex work to allow us to work together for safety. And I also campaign very much to reduce the stigma around sex work as well.
Fantastic. So can you tell me and the people watching what it is that you're bringing to the festival?
I hope to strip away some of the myths around sex work. I think people have a perception of sex workers as either women on a street corner with very chaotic lifestyles, or high-flying call girls that are on thousands of pounds a day. The reality is very different. The reality is me. 70% of us are mothers just trying to feed our children in a recession. We're ordinary people. We stand beside you in the queue in Asda as well. And we have our families, we have our lives away from sex work. So it's really just to give people an opportunity to engage with us and to find out what the kind of issues that we face now in Ireland as sex workers.
Fantastic. And you're going to be part of a panel discussion with 2 or 3 other people. So what for you do you think are what are the priorities in relation to sex work rights advocacy, campaigning? What are the priorities in that work for you?
Well, right now, on the 1st of June in Northern Ireland, there is a measure coming in which will make it illegal for a man to pay, and I'm not being gender discriminative in that, if that even is a word, but it's illegal for the purchaser to pay, let's just say, but still legal for me to advertise and to sell, which is nonsensical and it's known as the Swedish model, and quite simply, it doesn't work. Evidence from all around the world tells us that it's very damaging, as a matter of fact, and hurts the most vulnerable in the industry. So, crucially,
and there is a lot of evidence to support that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, absolutely, from the World Health Organization right down. So, and sex workers themselves were polled by the Department of Justice in Northern Ireland as well, and overwhelmingly 98% of sex workers said they didn't want the law. The PSNI said they didn't want the law. The Minister for Justice said he didn't want the law, and they still pushed it through. So I have made it my mission to get that law taken down, and I'm in the process of instigating legal proceedings which will aim to do just that. And I'm looking at taking that all of the way to the European Court of Human Rights if necessary. Similarly, in the Republic, the Minister for Justice, Francis Fitzgerald, is looking at introducing a similar model. So that will be another case which I will undertake as soon as the law comes into effect. But that one is very early days. So that's crucially where we're at right now in fighting for our rights.
Yeah, fantastic. And there's a really broad spectrum support for that campaigning, isn't there? There's, sort of say workers within the HSE who are working with sex workers themselves. There's a very broad church, for want of a better word, of people who are in support of campaigning against that legislation.
Yes, look, I do have a lot of support on the ground from sex workers, advocates, from rights organisations, etc., from all around Europe, whom I hope to meet in Paris fairly soon. But unfortunately, particularly in Ireland, I'm up against a very well-oiled PR machine. and the abolitionist or anti-organisations are funded to the hilt, so they can push their agenda out continuously on the Irish public and sell this image of immense amounts of trafficking going on, which is quite simply not true, because the rescue industry in Ireland is big, big money. And it pays them to paint this picture of desperate women being held in cages. So I have my work cut out for me. I will need to do a lot of media, a lot of talking, a lot of debunking of myths, but I firmly believe that in the end it will be worth it.
And that's exactly the reason why I'm so pleased to be able to offer you a platform at the festival, so that you can do exactly that with the people who are coming to the festival, and hopefully find some support in that community. So why are you coming to the festival? Aside from, you know, that's your agenda, that's your mission right now, is that campaigning work. What is it particularly about the festival that attracts you to come along to it?
Well, the whole, I suppose, vibe of the festival just sounds really good. It's like, I mean, I looked at the agenda and who else is speaking in the various workshops and stuff that's going on, and it looks to me like, to be crude, Glastonbury with dildos, which is, I'm totally okay with that. I mean, I think there's a workshop on tantric sex. I'll definitely be hitting that one up. And yeah, I think the people that will be going will be fairly cool people as well, like quite, you know, lefty liberal types as well. So these are the people I want to network with and get support from.
Yeah. I mean, the people who come to our festival are really varied. You know, everybody from, I think the youngest participant we had at the festival last year was 21, and the oldest was maybe in their mid-70s.
Wow.
And a real mix of ages, a real mix of nationalities and backgrounds and interests. You know, people who are single, people who are in couple, who are in monogamous relationships, people who are in open relationships, people who are looking to hook up with others, people who are not looking to hook up with others. It's a really wide range of people.
Great.
And that's one of the things I really like about it. Yeah. So just before we finish up, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the people who are watching? Anything else that you'd like them to know about you or about your work at the moment?
Just that Sex Workers Alliance Ireland right now is undergoing some really exciting changes, and we're growing from strength to strength. We have a lot more sex workers coming on board and fighting for our rights, both north and south of the border. We have a tremendous battle ahead, but we're well up for it.
Great, thank you so much. I'll put a link down in the video description below to the Sex Workers Alliance Ireland and to your own website as well. And I really look forward to hearing what you have to say at the festival. Thank you so much for your time and for your work.
It's a great pleasure, and I'm looking forward to meeting you too.
Yeah, likewise, Laura. Bye.
Bye.